Our world is rich with captivating tales that ignite our imagination and curiosity. From the mysteries of ancient civilizations to modern events that defy explanation, these stories continue to intrigue and mystify us. There's a whole universe of these unexplained phenomena waiting to be explored. Join us as we uncover the top world mysteries no one can explain. Flannan Isle Mystery. The Flannan Isles, a remote archipelago off the west coast of Scotland, bore witness to an unsettling mystery in December 1900. Three lighthouse keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving behind a scene that has baffled investigators for over a century. When a relief boat arrived at the island of Eilean Moor on December 26th, they found the lighthouse unattended. Inside, a table was set for a meal, and a chair had been overturned. The men's oilskins and boots were left behind, suggesting they had ventured out in haste. A search of the island yielded no trace of the keepers. Theories range from the mundane to the supernatural. Some speculate that the men were swept away by a freak wave while attempting to secure supplies during a storm. Others point to the lighthouse's log, which contained an eerie entry about a severe storm and a state of anxiety, hinting at a possible psychological breakdown. More fantastical explanations involve ghost ships, sea monsters, and even alien abduction. The true fate of the Flannan Isle keepers remains a haunting enigma. Shrewsbury Inscription. Nestled within the tranquil gardens of Shrewsbury Hall in Staffordshire, England, an enigmatic inscription has confounded historians and codebreakers for centuries. The Shepherd's Monument, an 18th-century relief sculpture, features a mirror-image copy of Nicolas Poussin's painting, The Arcadian Shepherds, but it's the cryptic sequence of letters, OUOSVAVV, and the letters DM on a lower line that have sparked endless speculation. Some researchers believe the inscription could be a coded message left by the Knights Templar, pointing to the location of the Holy Grail. Others suggest it may be an anagram or a form of steganography, concealing a hidden meaning. Attempts to decipher the code have been made by luminaries such as Charles Dickens and Charles Darwin's grandson, but to no avail. One theory proposes that the inscription is a romantic tribute by Thomas Anson to his deceased wife. Another links it to the Priory of Sion, a secret society central to the mystery surrounding the Rennes-le-Château in France. Despite centuries of examination, the Shrewsbury inscription remains an alluring puzzle, tempting codebreakers and conspiracy theorists alike. Flight MH370. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines. Flight 370 on March 8, 2014, is one of the most perplexing aviation mysteries in recent history. The Boeing 777, carrying 239 passengers and crew, vanished from radar screens over the South China Sea, sparking a massive international search effort that spanned millions of square miles. The last communication from the plane came less than an hour after takeoff, when the co-pilot signed off with a routine, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Investigators believe the plane then drastically deviated from its planned route, flying for several hours before plummeting into the southern Indian Ocean. Despite an underwater search covering 46,000 square miles, only a few scattered pieces of debris were found, washing ashore in Africa and on Indian Ocean islands. Theories abound, from a catastrophic mechanical failure to a deliberate act by one of the pilots. Some even speculate the plane was hijacked remotely and flown to a secret location. The lack of a definitive answer has only deepened the anguish of the victims' loved ones and fueled countless conspiracy theories. The case of the Pollock Sisters. In 1957, a tragic car accident in Hexham, England, claimed the lives of two young sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock. The following year, the girls' parents, John and Florence Pollock, welcomed twin daughters named Gillian and Jennifer. As the twins grew older, they began to exhibit uncanny similarities to their deceased sisters, leading to speculation about reincarnation and the paranormal. The twins not only bore a striking physical resemblance to Joanna and Jacqueline, but they also displayed eerily similar behaviors and knowledge. They recognized toys and locations that had been familiar to their late sisters, despite never having encountered them before. Perhaps most chillingly, they developed a deep-seated fear of cars, which seemed to stem from the traumatic accident that had taken their sisters' lives. John Pollock, a former British Royal Air Force chaplain, was convinced that Gillian and Jennifer were the reincarnations of Joanna and Jacqueline. He documented the twins' experiences and shared their stories with the media, sparking a heated debate about the possibility of past lives and the nature of the soul. Skeptics have sought to explain the Pollock sisters' case through more mundane means, such as genetic coincidence, subconscious influence from their parents, or even false memories. However, for those who believe in reincarnation, the story of Gillian and Jennifer Pollock remains a compelling and chilling example of the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of death. Area 51. Area 51, a highly classified United States Air Force facility located within the Nevada Test and Training Range, has long been a source of intrigue and conspiracy theories. The base, which was officially acknowledged by the CIA in 2013, has been associated with rumors of extraterrestrial activity, reverse-engineered alien technology, and top-secret government projects. The origins of Area 51 date back to the Cold War era, when it served as a testing ground for advanced aircraft such as the U-2 spy plane and the SR-71 Blackbird. The remote location and strict secrecy surrounding the base made it an ideal site for developing cutting-edge aerial surveillance technology. In the late 1980s, claims by a man named Bob Lazar thrust Area 51 into the public spotlight. Lazar alleged that he had worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at a facility called S4, located near Area 51. Although his claims lacked substantive evidence and were met with skepticism from experts, they fueled conspiracy theories and cemented Area 51's status as a nexus of extraterrestrial intrigue. Over the years, numerous UFO sightings and alleged government cover-ups have been linked to Area 51, despite the lack of concrete proof. The base's association with alien life has become so entrenched in popular culture that it has inspired countless books, movies, television shows, and video games. The Dancing Plague. In the summer of 1518, the city of Strasbourg, France, fell prey to a bizarre affliction known as the Dancing Plague. It began when a woman named Frau Trophea stepped into the street and began dancing fervently, seemingly unable to stop. Within a week, dozens had joined her strange compulsion. As the epidemic spread, the streets were filled with hundreds of people dancing uncontrollably for days on end, some until they collapsed from exhaustion or suffered heart attacks. The city authorities, at a loss, hired musicians to accompany the dancers, believing the plague would run its course. Theories about the cause of the dancing plague range from mass psychogenic illness to ergot poisoning from tainted rye bread. Some even speculate it may have been a form of religious mania, or a response to the extreme stress and hardship faced by the populace. The true reason behind this bizarre historical footnote remains a mystery, a testament to the strange and inexplicable nature of human behavior. The Wow signal. On August 15, 1977, astronomer Jerry R. Amon was working on the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence SETI project at Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope when he stumbled upon a remarkable signal. The 72-second transmission, originating from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, bore all the hallmarks of an extraterrestrial message. The signal's strength and duration were consistent with the expected signature of interstellar communication. Amon, stunned by his discovery, circled the data on the printout and scribbled "Wow" in the margin, giving the signal its iconic name. Despite numerous attempts to detect the signal again, the Wow signal remains a one-time event. Its origin continues to be a topic of heated debate in the scientific community. Some propose it may have been an Earth-based signal reflected off space debris or a passing comet. Others maintain that it could be evidence of an advanced alien civilization attempting to make contact. The tantalizing possibility that the Wow signal represents humanity's first brush with extraterrestrial intelligence has inspired countless hours of research and speculation. Until the signal is detected again, or its source conclusively identified, it will remain one of the most enduring mysteries in the search for life beyond our world. Kentucky meat shower. On March 3, 1876, the residents of Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky, experienced a bizarre phenomenon that would come to be known as the Kentucky meat shower. For several minutes, chunks of fresh meat, ranging in size from small squares to large pieces measuring up to 4 inches long, fell from the sky, covering an area of about 100 yards by 50 yards. The meat, which was described as having an unpleasant odor, was initially identified as either mutton or venison by 2 local men who tasted it. However, the source of the meat and the reason for its sudden appearance from the sky remain a mystery to this day. One theory suggests that the meat shower was the result of a group of vultures or buzzards regurgitating their recent meals while flying overhead. Another proposes that a large pack of buzzards may have been startled and dropped their cargo mid-flight. However, these explanations have been met with skepticism, as the sheer volume and distribution of the meat would have required an improbably large number of birds. Some researchers have even suggested the Kentucky meat shower may have been a hoax or a case of mass hysteria. Despite numerous investigations and analyses, no definitive explanation has been found, cementing this event's status as one of the strangest and most inexplicable occurrences in recorded history. Beal Ciphers. In 1822, a mysterious man named Thomas Jefferson Beal entrusted a box containing 3 encrypted papers to an innkeeper named Robert Morris in Lynchburg, Virginia. Beal claimed that the ciphers contained instructions for locating a treasure worth millions of dollars, which he and his companions had buried in a secret location. He then disappeared, never to be seen again. The story of the Beal ciphers remained unknown until 1885, when a small pamphlet was published by an anonymous author revealing the contents of the papers. The first cipher, which was decrypted using the Declaration of Independence as a key, contained a description of the treasure, including gold, silver, and jewels, with an estimated value of around $43 million in today's currency. The second cipher, which is believed to provide the location of the treasure, and the third cipher, which supposedly lists the names of Beal's companions and their next of kin, have never been deciphered. The mystery surrounding these remaining ciphers has captivated treasure hunters and cryptographers for nearly 2 centuries. Numerous attempts have been made to crack the codes, with some researchers claiming to have found clues in the text that point to specific locations, such as Bedford County, Virginia, or the Blue Ridge Mountains. However, no one has been able to definitively prove the validity of these theories, and the treasure, if it exists, remains undiscovered. Skeptics argue that the Beal ciphers may be an elaborate hoax designed to generate interest and sell pamphlets. They point to inconsistencies in the story and the lack of historical evidence supporting the existence of Thomas Beal or his treasure. Some have even suggested that the author of the 1885 pamphlets may have created the ciphers as a clever marketing scheme. Disappearance of the Sodder family. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a tragic fire engulfed the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, were asleep in the house when the blaze began. George, Jenny, and 4 of the children managed to escape, but the other 5 siblings, ranging in age from 5 to 14, were never seen again. The circumstances surrounding the fire and the children's subsequent disappearance have puzzled investigators for decades. The Sodders reported several strange occurrences leading up to the incident, including a threatening phone call, a mysterious man watching the house, and unexplained damage to their phone line and trucks. After the fire, no remains of the missing children were found in the ashes, leading the Sodders to believe that they might have survived. The family also noticed several discrepancies in the official investigation, such as the quick dismissal of the case by local authorities and the absence of the fire marshal on the scene. As time passed, the Sodders received various tips and alleged sightings of their missing children, further fueling their belief that the kids were still alive. In 1968, they even erected a billboard offering a reward for information about their whereabouts. Theories about what happened to the Sodder children range from kidnapping by local mafia members, possibly in retaliation for George Sodder's outspoken criticism of Mussolini and the Italian government, to a potential connection with the Witness Protection Program. Some have even suggested the children may have been taken to Italy or adopted by other families. Mystery of the Ghost Blimp. Amid World War II, on August 16, 1942, a U.S. Navy blimp designated L-8 took off from Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay for a routine anti-submarine patrol off the coast of California. The 246-foot-long airship was crewed by two experienced pilots, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Ellis Adams. A few hours into the mission, something went terribly wrong. The L-8 drifted off course and was spotted floating aimlessly over land, eventually coming to rest in a street in Daly City, California. When Navy personnel arrived at the scene, they found the blimp intact but with no sign of the crew. The door was open, the radio was functioning, and the emergency life raft was still on board. Cody and Adams had vanished without a trace. An extensive search was launched, but no clues were found to explain the fate of the missing pilots. The Navy conducted a thorough investigation, interviewing witnesses and examining the blimp for any evidence of foul play or mechanical failure. However, the inquiry failed to provide any conclusive answers. Theories about what happened to Cody and Adams range from the mundane to the extraordinary. Some speculate that the pilots may have encountered engine trouble and bailed out over land, possibly becoming disoriented and lost. Others suggest they may have been captured by enemy agents or defected to another country. More outlandish explanations have also been proposed, including alien abduction and supernatural intervention. The lack of concrete evidence and the eerie circumstances surrounding the incident have fueled these imaginative theories, adding to the enduring mystery of the ghost blimp. The collapse of the Mayans. The Maya civilization, renowned for its advances in astronomy, mathematics, architecture, and hieroglyphic writing, flourished in Mesoamerica for centuries. At its peak, the Maya built impressive cities with towering pyramids, elaborate palaces, and expansive public plazas. However, around the 8th and 9th centuries CE, males have a striking appearance, but the males are particularly eye-catching. They have a large, rounded crest on their head that can be either bright red or orange color. Their body is mostly black, with bright orange or red patches on their wings. Females, on the other hand, are a duller orange-brown color. What really sets the rock apart is its unique courtship display. At dawn, males gather at a communal display, often on a rocky outcrop, or put on quite a show to attract females. They hop and dance around, uttering loud, pig-like squeals. It's an amazing sight to behold in the misty, cloudy forests where they live. Nests are built by the females on cliff walls or large boulders. The cock of the rock is the national bird of Peru and is found nowhere else in the world besides the Andes. It's one of a kind, with no other bird species quite it. And let's not forget, their diet primarily consists of fruits, but they also eat insects and small vertebrates. They play an essential role in their ecosystem as seed dispersers, helping to maintain the health of tropical forests. Number 8. The standard winged nightjar. Imagine if you had a long-lost brother named Nightjar. Sounds like a cool superhero, right? Well, there's actually a bird called the standard-winged nightjar that kind of fits that vibe. This little guy is usually about 8 to 9 tall and has a song that sounds like a cheerful trill. The nightjar's plumage is mostly a mix of gray and brown, and a bit different from other nightjars because it doesn't have the usual white on its wings or tail. One way to tell the males from the females is by the wide white band that crosses the otherwise black bird of the male. During mating season, the males show off with a 9th main feather on each wing, which can grow to about 15 inches longer than the bird itself. After mating season, these long feathers often fall off or get broken, so the males and females end up looking similar. This bird, which lives in the dry savanna areas of Africa, can be found from Senegal to Ethiopia. It's also spotted in places like Gambia, Western Liberia, Central Cameroon, and even the Democratic Republic of Congo, to southern Sudan, and maybe into northeastern Kenya. They're often found along the coast from Liberia to West Cameroon and in southeastern Uganda during the dry seasons. Number 7. Keel-billed toucan. The keel-billed toucan is a fascinating bird found in Central and South American forests, specifically countries like Belize. It is known for its distinctive appearance and unique features. The bird has a predominantly black body, vibrant yellow neck, and a touch of red under its tail. Prominent feature is its beak, which is adorned with various colors such as blue, green, yellow, and a red tip. Interestingly, viewed from behind, the bird appears to have a more appearance. However, when it turns around, its colorful feathers create a striking visual display. Despite its impressive appearance, billed toucan is actually lightweight due to its hollow and articulated bones. This allows the bird to navigate its forest habitat with ease. These toucans are primarily found in rainforests, ranging from southern Mexico to Venezuela and Colombia. They tend to stay within territories and are not known for long-distance travel. So, next time you're throwing a jungle bash, don't expect the keel-billed toucans to fly in from far. They're more of a local scene kind of bird. Unless your party is just a hop, skip, and jump away, these colorful characters might call a ride. Toucan Uber, anyone? Number 6. Hui. The hooded pitohui is one of the fascinating birds you've probably never heard of. It's one of the only known toxins in the world, and it's the first venomous bird ever formally reported in a scientific journal. These little guys are about the size of a dove, with distinctive black feathers on their head and an orange belly. On average, they stand around 9 inches tall. Hooded pitohuis are passerines, which is just a fanning songbirds, and they're part of the oriole family, along with figbirds. They have sharp black legs and a powerful black beak that they use for eating. The bright colors and patterns on the hooded feathers are thought to be aposematic, which means designed to warn predators to stay away. These birds are found in the rainforests and jungles of New Guinea, an island north of Australia. They're omnivores, so they eat a wide variety of plant and animal matter, including berries, insects, even a specific type of New Guinea choricine, which is believed to be the source of their toxicity. So if you ever find yourself in the jungles of New Guinea and spot one of these colorful birds, do yourself a favor, your distance. The hooded pitohui is one of the most poisonous birds in the world, with batrachotoxins in its and feathers that can cause paralysis and even death in high doses. It's definitely not a bird you want to mess with. Number 5. Flamingos are like the superstars of the bird world. Everyone knows them. These elegant creatures are often compared to graceful dancers with their long necks, legs, and gorgeous pink feathers. I mean, come on. You can spot a flamingo from a mile away. There's just no mistaking those birds for anything else. And let's be real, flamingos are some of the most stunning birds out there. Their vibrant pink color is just jaw-dropping. In fact, if you saw one floating on the water without its signature black beak, you'd probably think it was a rose or something. The showstopper has got to be their dance moves. These birds really bust out some impressive routines. But flamingos have a pretty face. They've got some seriously cool behaviors that set them apart from other birds. From their unique feeding habits to their intricate social structures, there's always something fascinating to look at these feathered friends. Number 4. The maribou. Have you ever seen a maribou stork? They're some of the most unique-looking birds out there. These have hollow toe and leg bones, which is pretty cool because it helps them stay airborne despite their size. The African maribou stork can have a wingspan 2.66 meters and stand around 1.5 meters tall. The males are even more impressive with their huge air and tend to be a bit bigger and tall males. One of the standout features is the long crimson pouch that hangs from their necks. They use pouch in a pretty interesting way. During courtship, they'll inflate this pouch to impress the ladies. The bright pink sac, which can stretch to 18 inches during the breeding season, acts as a resonator connected to their left nostril. This setup helps them make a deep, guttural croaking sound that can be quite a show. Even though maribou storks usually keep quiet, they've got a warning system if they feel threatened. They make a beak-clacking sound that can be pretty chilling. They eat. They're kind of like vultures. They feast on leftovers. It might sound gross, but they play a role in their ecosystem. They clean up dead animals, from tiny birds and termites to huge elephants and even human garbage. It might be a bit icky, but their scavenging helps prevent infections and diseases. Now that is kind of gross. Number 3. Tufted puffin. The tufted puffin is a unique seabird in the North Pacific Ocean. Known as the crested puffin, its name perfectly describes its distinctive appearance. These birds have a thick red bill and yellow, as well as a large head adorned with a long golden plume that curls all the way down to their neck. During the breeding season, the tufted puffin's head actually becomes larger than other puffin species. They also develop a noticeable white face mask that lasts throughout the mating period. This striking look is attracting potential mates. They're essentially saying, "Pick me," in their own avian way. While they may be beautiful birds, can be quite gluttonous. They hunt and store a large number of fish in their beaks all at once, up to 20. Some may find this feeding behavior a bit off-putting, but for the puffins, it's a necessary survival tactic. After all, a big appetite price to pay for such a magnificent bird. Number 2. Hoatzins. Okay, what we could say is, this truly is one fascinating bird to look at. This next bird looks like it stepped out of a prehistoric era, something that might have roamed with dinosaurs and cavemen. Meet the Hoatzins, a small but strikingly bird with a turquoise and orange appearance. These vibrant creatures are native to the Amazon basin, where they hang out by slow-moving rivers and the Hoatzins are pretty easy to spot thanks to its bright colors, loud calls, and social nature. They're often found in their habit. Result can be quite a target for predators. Here's a wild fact. Hoatzins have a quirky similarity to cows. Just like cows, goats, and sheep, Hoatzins digest their food through bacterial fermentation. But here, the Hoatzins is the only bird in the world with stomach compartments located deep in its belly, rather than in the rest of the digestive tract. Eat leaves, which go to their crop where the bacterial fermentation kicks off. One downside? The bacteria can make them smell pretty bad, which is why they're sometimes called stink birds. Number 1. 3 Waddled Bellbird. Next on our list is a Japanese-looking mustache-having bellbird. Okay, that was ridiculously long. Well, have you ever seen those weird worm-like things hanging from a bellbird? Let me tell you, those are actually just the male's 3 slim, long, gray-black wattles. Pretty strange. The females, on the other hand, don't have those at all. In fact, the girls look completely different from the guys. But one thing they do have in common is their huge black beaks and sturdy bodies. Now, the female bellbird is dressed to impress in an olive green with thin yellow lines, a tiny yellow ring around her eye, and a bright yellow belly. She's also got broad, dark olive green stripes running down her body. This cool camouflage helps her blend right into the lush green canopy when she's hanging out in the trees. The male, though, is about standing out. He's got a dazzling white neck and chest, plus a rich chestnut rufous color covering the rest of his feathers. So while he might not be the best at hiding, he sure is a looker to attracting a mate. These unique birds can be found in the forest between eastern Honduras and western Panama. They like to hang out in the middle to upper levels of the lowland forests at elevation about 900 meters all the way up to 3,000 meters or more. But when it's not mating season, you're more likely to spot them lower down in the wood. And let me tell you, you'll definitely hear them coming. The bellbird is famous for its super strange bonk call, known to be one of the loudest birds in the world, reaching the same volume as a pneumatic drill. Since they sing at the very tops of the trees, they're loud and carry up to half a kilometer away. Thanks for watching. See you in our video.